Early Foundations in the Bible presents God and the World He Made. Jesus, God's Son, is born. Abraham and his big family. And Jeroboam and the golden calves. Now, here's your host, Chuck Christensen.
Oh, hello. I'm glad you could join me today. We're going to look at some stories in the Bible. What is this? No, it's not a basketball nor a great big baseball. It's a globe. It's a picture of the world we live on. Here's the land, here's the sea, and here are the parts that are snowy and cold. God is so great that He made our world. He made the sun and the moon, too, and they were round. God made the trees and the rivers and people and animals. And how wisely God made us, with feet to walk and hands to play and a mouth to eat with. Let's take a look at God and the world He made.
God made everything there is. God made the dry land and the oceans. God made the plants and the trees to grow in the earth. God made the sun, the moon, and all the stars to give light to the earth. God made birds to fly through the air and fish to swim in the water. God made animals, animals of all kinds, and then God made people. Of all the things God made, people were the most like God. He made everything for them.
Down, boy, down.
The names of the first people were Adam and Eve. God put them in a big, beautiful garden and asked them to take care of it. Then God was finished making everything, so He stopped. God saw that everything He had made was just right. God made you too, and you are special to God. Coming up next, Abraham and his big family.
I wish you could join me in making stars. It's lots of fun. And you can put them in your mirror, or you could hang them up from the ceiling. The stars that are in the sky are beautiful objects that God made. And if we go out at night, especially in the country, and look up at the sky, we'll say, wow, look at all the stars that God has made. One day God said to his friend Abraham, count the stars. Now, why did he do that? I think we'll find out when we pick up our storybook, Abraham and his big family.
Abraham lived with his family in the city of Ur. One day, God asked Abraham to do something hard.
Yes, Lord.
God asked him to leave his country, his family, and his share of the family's things.
I must go because the Lord has spoken.
God told Abraham he would give him his own country and a big family, so big that counting his family would be like trying to count the stars. God said that someday, because of Abraham's family, the whole world would be better off.
Have faith, Abraham.
Abraham believed God and left his country with his wife, Sarah. God took Abraham and Sarah to a land that would one day belong to their family.
Look, see the land the Lord has given to us.
But Abraham and Sarah grew older, and they still had no children. Finally, when they were very, very old, they had a son. They named him Isaac.
Thank you, Lord.
Over many years, God gave Abraham a big family, just as he had promised. They were called the Israelites. God gave the Israelites a new land, Canaan, to be their home, just as he had promised. Many, many years later, a special child was born to the family that came from Abraham. It was Jesus. Just as God had promised, the whole world is better off. Because of Abraham's family, we have the way to know God. It makes sense to believe what God says. God always keeps his promises.
Him and who was expecting a child.
Jeroboam and the Golden Calves.
Yes, that's right. I'm ripping a shirt. That's strange, isn't it? One day, God wanted to send a message to his servant Jeroboam. So he sent a prophet who had a coat. And he ripped the coat into 12 pieces, and 10 of the pieces he gave to Jeroboam. They were representing 10 tribes or 10 great families of people. But Jeroboam wasn't very wise. Let's find out how Jeroboam took his gift and showed that he wasn't very wise by reading the book Jeroboam and the Golden Calves.
Jeroboam was one of King Solomon's highest officials in the land of Israel. One day, a prophet named Ahijah came to visit Jeroboam. Ahijah tore a coat into 12 pieces, one for each of the tribes of Israel. He gave 10 pieces to Jeroboam. Ahijah said the Lord was going to make Jeroboam king of 10 of the tribes after King Solomon died. When King Solomon heard about this, he was angry. He wanted his son to be king after him. Jeroboam had to leave the country quickly. But after Solomon died, Jeroboam did become king of the 10 tribes. Only 2 tribes were left for Solomon's son, Rehoboam. Jeroboam did not want his tribes to go to the temple in Jerusalem, where Solomon's son, Rehoboam, was the king. So he set up golden calves in 2 temples where his people worshipped. The calves were supposed to be thrones for the Lord. Jeroboam thought he was doing a good thing, but this is the wrong way to worship the Lord. The people began to think that the calves themselves were gods. Then the prophet Ahijah came back, and he was upset. Ahijah told Jeroboam that the Lord was very angry about the calves. But Jeroboam never took the calves down. Neither did any of the kings of Israel who ruled after his death. God finally had to punish the people of Israel because they did not treat him as the one true God.
Capture those Israelites.
It is very important to worship God in the right way. It is always a big mistake to think we can force God to do what we want him to do. Jesus, God's Son, is born.
So soft and pretty. Don't you think that a bed like this would be very comfortable for a baby? I think your mother and father may have had one like this for you when you were young. But what's this? Straw. It's crinkly and stiff and prickly. But if you put it down and press it down, it would work very well as a bed. In which of these do you think your mother and father would like to place you when you're a baby? Your mother would say, "No, thank you. This is the one that I would like." Just think, when Jesus came to this earth and was born, he was placed in a crib like this, on the straw, with the animals around him. And that's where the shepherds found him, the one they had been told was God's Son. Let's see what happened. As we read the storybook, Jesus, God's Son, is born.
Mary and Joseph were about to have a baby. An angel told them their baby would be the Son of God. Just before the baby came, Mary and Joseph had to take a trip to Bethlehem. When they got to Bethlehem, they couldn't find any place to stay.
I'm sorry, we have no room.
Finally, they found a stable, and that's where the baby was born. Mary and Joseph named him Jesus. Angels spread the news of this special baby, God's Son. Shepherds heard about it from the angels and ran to see the baby Jesus. They worshiped him. Even the stars spread the news in their own way. Wise men far away saw a special star. They knew that a king had been born, Jesus. The wise men brought gifts to honor him. God born as a baby boy. This was the most important thing that had ever happened. Because Jesus is the most important part of God's plan for the world.
Series just for children like you. At Quigley's Village, you'll meet Mr. Quigley and Dexter and Molly the mail carrier too. You'll make friends with Lemon Lion and her brother Danny. And you'll have fun with Spike the porcupine and Bubba the orangutan and the rest of their friends. Best of all, you'll get to learn important lessons on biblical values, like always telling the truth and being kind to one another, the kinds of lessons that every child needs to learn and grow. On every visit to Quigley's Village, you'll find stories, songs, and lots of fun. In Always Be Thankful, you'll watch Lemon Lion's frantic search for her lost doll, Mrs. Toddy, and you'll cheer when Bubba finds the way to rescue her. In Sharing with Others, you'll see Spike win a balloon-making machine, and what happens when she decides not to share. In Always Tell the Truth, you'll watch Danny get caught in a lie, and then hear Mr. Quigley's loving advice that helps Danny finally tell the truth. There are 6 delightful adventures in all, and you can find all 6 at your local Christian bookstore and at other fine retailers nationwide. We hope you enjoy all 6.
And now it's time to go to sleep. I know